Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here. And I'd like to thank Hyper Games Conference for inviting us to be a part of Hyper Games Conference. Today, we're going to be talking about selling games as NFTs and the solution that we're providing for all the prototypes that we usually try out and doesn't see the light of being a hit game. So first of all, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Ali Al Hamwi, the founder of Metatron Metaverse. We were known as C4 Studios. We've been trying hyper-casual games for a while, since 2018. And we had like many different types of approaches for coming up with innovative game ideas, such as using OpenAI GPT-3 or Ludo AI platform in order to come up with game ideas and then test them in the market. So far, we had like more than 50 prototypes that we've tested, and none of them have seen the light. And that's why I had in mind a concept that we could try out as a community and seek ways in order to make profit out of all the games that we've killed. Since there's a lot of projects coming up as NFT supported games or play to earn, or even metaverse projects out there, I figured out that there could be a solution that we can go for. Okay, so I'll be starting the next slide right now. So first, I'd like to introduce you to the meaning of an NFT. Technically, NFT means owning something in the digital reality and having a smart contract that says that this virtual asset, it belongs to you. Now, there has been like a lot of massive adoption for such cool technology around the world. But what we can see is that it hasn't been that effective when it comes to utility yet. It was more of a hype around the world, and there was a lot of projects that are selling images and cool art for very high prices, and that was the main reason why the mass media was maybe focusing on such technology and such hype. Now, from our perspective at Metatron Metaverse, we believe that an NFT will have an actual utility in the metaverse projects or play-to-earn projects, or even more than that. Not only to be an image or an artwork that can be sold, or maybe a music label or a video. It could be way more than this. So we have a concept of having an entire game as an NFT. So this concept is going to be introduced through our platform, and we believe it's going to be worth it because there's a lot of prototypes out there that really needs some second chance to be making some profit for the developer, or maybe it could be as an alternative solution to be a sustainable income for them. So as you can see here, since we've tested more than 50 games last year, we haven't had even a single hit game. And it was quite difficult for us. We thought that, okay, maybe it's quite impossible to have a hyper-casual hit game. But in reality, it's not impossible. It's just a very competitive market, and you need to be sustained for a while and try as much games as you can with as many innovative approaches as possible. So I do believe that the scene is still profitable. There's still a lot of game studios that are making hit games. Maybe we're not one of them, but we're also trying to furnish a solution for all the other game studios that haven't had a chance to have a game that saw the light before. So usually a lot of hyper-casual game prototypes get killed because KPIs, like the cost per install or the retention rate is not meeting the targets of the publisher, or in order to make the game profitable in the market. And this only makes sense because when you're using other platforms to advertise on, you will need big amount of money to invest in a game and then come up with a return of investment out of that, which solely relies on the key performance indicator of the game prototype that you tried out. It could be through a CTR test, a CPI test, even trying out more than like 10 levels at a time and trying the retention rate too. Nonetheless, this is quite difficult, and it's the main reason why it makes it very difficult for a lot of hyper casual games to see the light. That's why I think it's time for a rebirth. This is the solution what we will be talking about right now. They'll be explaining how we will be turning those games into an NFT, the entire game prototype, or maybe if you would like to develop it into an entire game, not only a prototype stage. So technically, I need you guys to use your imagination with me for a bit. As you can see here, we have a prototype that haven't seen the light, didn't pass the KPIs, doesn't fit for a large media test. And what we did is that we designed an arcade machine of the game that reflects the game feeling or the IP itself, how it looks like. And we turned this arcade machine into an NFT. We mint it on the blockchain as a non-fungible token on any of the markets like Rarible, OpenSea, or whatever market out there, marketplace for NFT. And after that, we sell it for a community of owners on a smart contract that combines multiple owners of an NFT. Now, and having an NFT could be owned by one person, and there's other NFT smart contracts that allows it to be owned by an amount of people. That's what makes it special. So this arcade machine is going to be owned by, let's say, 100 people that bought the entire game. Second thing is, this arcade machine that is owned by a community of owners on that smart contract will be selling it on Metatron Metaverse, on our own platform. And I'll be talking more about our platform in later slides. But for now, I'm going to explain to you how those 100 people are going to be making revenue out of this game, including whoever made the game itself. So there's a percentage of the sales that happen. A second, this is a case study. So let's say Sultan here is a space owner. He has a space in Metatron Metaverse, and he would like to have one of those arcade machines in his space. So whoever enters the space can play that game, game that haven't seen the light before and didn't pass the KPIs, obviously. So Sultan is going to be buying this arcade machine, and the money he bought this arcade machine prop so he can feature it in his space will be splitting between 100 people and the game developer as well. So the concept that revolves around this is pretty interesting, because for the first time we can make money out of the killed prototypes that didn't see the light and haven't passed the KPIs. And the developer can make some revenue, the community can make a revenue, and even whoever is using the game could be utilizing this arcade machine to add value to his space in our metaverse, which is pretty interesting. So In the end, everybody's benefiting. And that's what Web 3.0 projects is all about. Rewards and rewards and rewards, being able to connect and collaborate, being able to have a certain way of economy that revolves around people and benefiting everybody in the end. And I could see this going very well if we manage to take this concept to other metaverse projects, not only Metatron Metaverse, but we're starting to try it out, and we will be having it soon. So it all depends on how the market will react for something like this. Now, of course, there's a lot of prototypes that are very simple, maybe, or need some skinning, or to add like more levels to it. And that's completely fine. We could always try games that are at least playable and could add a little bit of value to whoever is going to buy it. Maybe add some characters, some environments, and so on. Because a lot of game prototypes, especially in the hyper casual scene, they don't have any characters or any design. This design is very simple. And that could be a problem here. So the solution is very simple. Just try to skin it and try to add some characters to it, some environments, make it feel like it's an IP game. So when you design the arcade machine, it could be totally worth it. Now, I'm going to talk just a little bit about our Metaverse project in order to involve you guys more into the potential of having something like this to be a part of a Metaverse project. Now, as you know, there's a lot of Metaverse projects around the world. There's pretty interesting stuff out there, but most of them are on PC. Now, our main focus here is to furnish the potential of having a social community that could be built directly from mobile phones, and to have access to people to metaverse utilities with their mobile phone. And that was the idea behind Metatron Metaverse, where people could design spaces like those ones, or we design it for them, that could feature their business, their artwork, their maybe music studio. It could be their indie game studio. It could be literally anything. We do have from restaurants to NFT marketplaces integrated into our project, and we will be launching soon, which is pretty exciting for us. And we're looking forward to have a lot of game studios involved in this concept that we are trying to tell you guys about the importance of it, which is completely going to give another chance for all these games that haven't seen the light. And that's one of the things that we suffered from as a game studio, because it's not that easy to make a hit game. But if there's a way for people to make some revenue out of those games they tried out, then why not, you know? So you can consider each one of those spaces as a different community, where those spaces can also be expandable or designed on a different scale. This is just the beginning. So we started out to be just like simple rooms, small spaces that could have social features like voice chat, text chat. You can also add links to your social media platforms. You can fully add like so many props and utilities and experiences to your space. So whoever enters that space could be interacting with other people in the community, but without an avatar, of course. So it's as simple as viewing somebody's profile, but on a 3D space. And that's the idea behind it as well. We're trying to experience on having a social media platform on a 3D space instead of having 2D perspective of videos and pictures. How about we could do that where people could feature their videos and pictures inside their spaces and their other social media links, also to show how many people enter the space, just like views, but instead it's going to be entries, called entries. So the higher the entries, the more in value the space has. So you can only imagine if one of those high value spaces do have one of those arcade machines, where the adoption rate of this arcade machine around other communities will be even higher. It will add its value to it. And that's pretty interesting, where everybody, as I said before, can benefit from it. So why should we focus on selling a game as an NFT right now, or having a virtual asset? Why would people be interested from the first place? Now, the popularity of such technology is on the rise right now. I know that the crypto and the NFT market has been going down for the past few months, but that's completely fine, because we believe that according to Gartner hype curve, technology of NFT is just on the rise for like the past 2 years, and right now it's getting into mass adoption very soon, where the prices will go lower, but the adoption rate will be higher in the mass market. So it was only early adopters who were interested in such technology, and that's why the demand was low. The prices also were very high. As you could see, there's a lot of projects that had massive prices for just images, but in the end, they were like offering other utilities of being a part of a community. And that's when I realized that the power of the community in Web 3.0 projects is the one that is going to revolutionize even user acquisition in that term, for any platform that is going to be built on a blockchain that has like a mass adoption rate of such technology. So you could only imagine if communities are involved in different metaverses, and you can move them around from one metaverse to another, the price of acquiring users will be even way less. And that's why we need to always look forward and seek ways to sell our games, or find out how to survive in a market like this. Because if the market changes to such perspective in the future, we could be ready, and we could have another opportunity for our businesses to survive. Now this is just, so as you can see here, the metaverse market is exponentially growing. And as you can see here, it's 14.8 trillion US dollars. That's in October 2021 till then. And I believe it's skyrocketed even more in 2022. And there's chances that it's going to be moving even higher than that, as the adoption rate is going to be massive very soon, when mass media is going to be talking about so many businesses opening in the metaverse, which we already seen, that is going to have massive adoption rate when it comes to users integrating into the metaverse. And that's why we're trying to be on the phone, not on the PC, where it will be easier for people to have access to such experiences right from their phones. So the target audience are way bigger than people who will be integrating into the metaverse from their PCs. This is one of the major investors that already invested in the metaverse recently. We have JP Morgan, Disney, and even Nike. Even McDonald's had to open restaurants in the metaverse, which is very interesting concept as well. Like away from the game industry, if you see a lot of businesses looking forward to market in the next generation of the internet, this is going to revolutionize many aspects of our life. And there's a lot of opportunities that I believe we haven't really explored. I'd like to thank you guys for, thank you so much for listening to Metatron Metaverse concept of selling games as NFTs. I hope it was helpful, and we really appreciate you guys joining us here. I'd like to thank Hyper Games Conference again for having us here and having the opportunity to talk about such concept. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'm gonna be live and I will be able to answer all of your questions.